Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to do another set of Corsa Competizione video on the Fanatec DD Pro. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're gonna go ahead and get out here and start doing some driving. So I've been playing around with this, trying to get it to a point where it just feels better, and I don't know, man, like this is a pretty dang good experience overall. I don't understand why it took so long for me to like really get into the Fanatec thing, but it's doing pretty good. Just hoping that I don't know, man. I got another $442 that I'm gonna be spending here tomorrow night on this. So, it's a lot of money for sim racing, but I do it a lot. Want to make a lot of videos, and I'll tell you what, man, going to the direct drive from that Thrustmaster TX, it's definitely got me in the seat more, playing my sim racing stuff. And it's not just because of, like, say, the honeymoon phase or anything like that. It's like this is a much better experience. And I don't feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm playing on this. Like, this feels pretty dang good, man. So there's a lap right there for Watkins Glen. I've been driving Watkins Glen a little bit pretty often right now, so I want to change that up. I want to go back to another track, one of my favorites. We're gonna go back and do some I had to buy some of these tracks. We can check out, I still need to buy this one here, these two packs of tracks, but I think we're gonna do a Mount Panorama. Oh, some Bathurst. Let's see how this feels on here.
Green light, go, go, go.
And get out. I love a set of Corsa Competizione. I own it on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. I think this is a world-class racing game that will 100% help you get better as a sim racer. It is challenging, but it is also one of the best when it comes to force feedback. This game just feels incredible, getting it all dialed in for you and finding out what works best for you is the best thing you can do. This dialing, man. I'll tell you what, this just feels like you can feel like the track being like not exactly flat and stuff, and I like that. I like the fact that it feels, because I mean, let's face it, man, this is sim racing. You're playing a freaking video game. It's never gonna be exactly like real life. I mean, it can get close, but you'll never feel the G-forces. You'll never feel, you know, I mean, if you want to spend all the money to get a seat that will move around with you and stuff, yeah, that could definitely intensify and add to the experience. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know, man. This is the best feeling simulator on the market right now. I mean, it literally, out of everything I've played, this is hands down the best. Nothing else even comes close to this. I mean, they're good, they're manageable, they're serviceable, but like nothing comes close to this in terms of how it feels. Like, this just feels incredible. It looks great. The playing around with this. Whoa, man, I'm a little bit out. Whoa. But I mean, I like to come here and I like to just do some laps and stuff. You know, I still consider myself in the learning stages of sim racing, because there's still a lot of things that I need to learn, and that's why I share this content with you, is so that you can kind of see, you know, my struggle and the stuff that I'm going through, and understand, like, you know, what I really like about it and why it's so therapeutic. Sim racing for me is very therapeutic. Well, at least, you know, getting out here and putting some fast laps down, like, this is a very therapeutic experience for me, so I like to share that with you guys. After a hard week of work, I like to come home on the weekend and really just put in some laps and stuff. And one of these days, oh man, one of these days I will go out of my way to start. I have done some online racing, but I don't know, man. I don't like it when people are just running into me and I'm running into other people and stuff. I want to be able to just get out here and learn the track. This is one of those good tracks that I really like. It's a very challenging track to be consistent for me. This is a tough track to learn how to be consistent on, for sure. But it is also like an incredible experience that you're just not gonna get. Ooh, whoa, dude. An incredible experience that you just, I just don't feel like I get this experience anywhere else but here. I've played so many racing games, and this one here, my gosh, it just feels better. And the Fanatec BD Pro does intensify that a lot more over what the Thrustmaster TX had, you know. And I mean, I would talk about Camus, but let's face it, man, Camus is only good on the PC right now. They're so new to the scene that waiting for certain things to be upgraded and come to that, and possible maybe freaking, you know, eventual console. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I like Camus. I think it's a great brand, and it is really cool. But let's face it, man, your real choices are Fanatec, Logitech, and Thrustmaster when it comes to these consoles, man. Those are pretty much your top three that are competing for your money the most. Because let's face it, man, everything else, while it might get the job done, these experiences are going to feel more refined. Actually, I don't even think Thrustmaster's T818 is going to be available for consoles just yet. I think they're still running that through the PC market, which is, I don't know, man. Like, Thrustmaster to me just seems like it should be like console specific first and then move over to PC. I think they could do better that way, but I don't know. Both Thrustmaster and Logitech are pretty high when it comes to the pricing for their respective wheelbases when it comes to the direct drive units. So I don't know, man. $1,000 for Logitech, and it only works on, you know, one console and the PC at a time. That just if you're like me and you play all racing games, then you got pretty much to have everything. But I mean, I guess you could get by if you're, because I mean, like your exclusives like Forza are gonna be on your are going to be on your PC day and date. So essentially, you can probably go with the PlayStation version of either of those wheels and have it work on your PC for your Forza games. But yeah, man, I wasn't even considering PC this generation. I was gonna, yeah, I mean the consoles were gonna be good enough for me, but now that, oh dang, now that we're into the PC atmosphere as well, things are a little different. I like the fact that I can get on my Xbox and play those games and then jump right over to my PC and pick up right where I'm at. That's really cool. That's something that PlayStation really needs to bring, but they're a whole generation behind now in supporting PC, so there's going to be some growing pains with the PlayStation stuff. So I would like to see Gran Turismo hit the PC market, though. I think that would be pretty interesting, man, to be able to do side-by-side comparisons of Forza and Gran Turismo running on the PC. That would be an interesting look. I love how the realism on Assetto Corsa looks good. Like the track looks good, the cars look incredible. It looks and feels like a good overall experience that's convincing enough. I do want the racing games to like really take advantage of these next gen consoles and like really bring the realism, you know, whether that be denser crowds, something like that, better looking sidetrack or trackside detail, higher quality physics, you know. Like right now, playing this Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PS5 right now. We're playing the PS5 version. It does do good, but I really do kind of wish they would bring a 1080p 120 FPS mode to this, and VR support. I think that would be very, very good for for PlayStation fans to be able to get some VR support and 120 FPS, you know, for Xbox and PS5. I think that's something that all racing games should have, a VR mode and VR support, as well as more higher refresh rate. And the reason why I say stop at 120 is because you don't necessarily, I mean, most of your TVs are going to top out at 120, so that's fair. That's perfect. 1080p, you know, for a racing game is not too bad. Yeah, of course we would like to have that higher resolution, but I think the frame rate is just more important. Like, you got the new 120 FPS update for GT7 that just launched last week, and that's a very, very welcome update for that game. Man, I just like this track. I just like this track so much. We're going to finish this lap, and then we're going to shoot on over to Spa real quick and do a couple laps on Spa. And I don't know, man. This is one of those things where I know this video is kind of all over the place and stuff, but I like to talk about, you know, like how therapeutic the sim racing, just doing the laps and stuff, can be. It feels good, and when you get in the zone while you're playing these, you can like really start to feel like the difference in like these tracks and stuff. And man, I'm telling you, man, direct drive wheel for sim racing has really made this more of a, it's made it feel completely better than what it was before. So we're gonna go ahead and go on over to Spa real quick, and then we're gonna get into the way the wheel feels now, because talked about therapeuticness. Now let's get on over here to Bronco Chomps. we're just gonna do practice. All right, let's get in this real quick before we get ready to leave. We're only at 15 minutes, so a couple of laps on this will be pretty good. All right, so
Green light. Go, go,
I want to talk about feeling. So and the reason why I came to Spa for that is because this track right here, I've put a lot of laps on with that Thrustmaster TX, a lot of laps with the Camus DD, and now I haven't done as much with the Fanatec DD Pro. So this is one of those things where getting in here and kind of feeling that is something that like really it intensifies the experience to be able to trust, you know, the communication of what you're oh boy, maybe I should have walked down in a second for that one. Yeah, I think it is second for here. Yeah, okay, so I need to pay attention a little more. Let me at least get the tires warmed up before I start jabbering on, because we do kind of need at least some sort of focus. You need some sort of focus, and I haven't been here for a couple days. Spa. It is really hard to talk and race drive at the same time. But I'll tell you what, it is. Wow, man. Oh, that's why. I've still got this car set up to an aggressive stance, I believe. That's why it's feeling different. All right. That makes sense now. I need to practice a little more on this. I need to maybe take it a little bit, because I'm noticing that I'm having like more power as I'm coming into some of these turns. So that's interesting. You know, playing around with that, like your practice setup or whatever, and then your aggressive setup, it really does kind of change the way it feels, because it kind of, I think it lowers some of those traction control settings even more, which is not a bad thing, but having better control over your vehicle with the direct drive wheel, though, is super important. I can't state that enough. I from the moment I first started playing sim racing with a direct drive wheel, I was blown away, literally freaking blown away. This communicates so much better to your hands and what your car is doing and how it feels, that it's one of those things where you can 100% feel everything that the car is doing, and it gives you better confidence in how you can how the game is going to react, or how the car is going to react to certain situations, and that's pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, I've since switched over to the aggressive. Now I had tried aggressive back before when I had that Thrustmaster TX, and like that wheel, man, that wheel, it like I felt like I was learning how to use the wheel and not learning how to play the games, to be completely honest with you. And buying and going to direct drive made that a fact. Because now I'm learning how to drive the cars, as opposed to learning how to play around with that wheel, and that sucks, man. That really does suck, because those things, you know, they do cost a good amount of money, and they're cheap enough to where people are like, yeah, man, I'll just buy that, it'll get the job done. But then at the same time, the experience is so different that it is worth the extra money to just buy a freaking direct drive wheel. Like it is. it is. And now with, you know, options like the Fanatec DD Pro and you know, like the Logitech and the Thrustmaster out, yeah, dude, there's no reason to buy a belt-driven wheel ever again for anybody. They are expensive, but they should last longer. The technology in a direct drive wheel should last a lot longer. Like, these motors are better, they're stronger. They should be able to withstand a lot more of this. And I'll tell you right now, like, the friction that you get in the wheel feels more natural. Like, you feel like you go over a bump and it just kind of just wobbles a little bit, as opposed to it like feeling like it's yanking one way, and then by the time you try to go to correct that, it's yanking back the other way. I hated that. I literally hated that feeling out of that Thrustmaster belt-driven wheel, because you'd have that top spot where you got like that dead zone that you're not getting anything while that belt is rotating the other way. So you're getting so much freaking, I don't know. To me, it just never felt 100% natural, but it did feel okay to the point where, yeah, you could play technically, but I don't know, man. And then with these wheels right here, you know, you've got like menus that you can get in here and set up and stuff. And on the Thrustmasters, you didn't really have that. You just pretty much got like full blast and then had to play around with the game settings and stuff. I mean, I guess you could have hooked it up to I could have hooked it up to a PC and downloaded the software for it and all that, but I didn't really know I could do that until I got until I started with the direct drive wheels, and by that time it had already been too late. Too late for the belt driven wheel, because after playing 10 minutes with the direct drive wheel, I never wanted to touch that thing again. So that just, you know, that's bad. You know, the marketing on there, it is bad, because you can't like really just walk into a store and buy whatever you want when it comes to sim racing. You pretty much have to rely on other people to tell you if the product is good or not. And I'll tell you what, man, if they're sending you free stuff, then yeah, of course it's going to be great. But I mean, I bought that and I bought this. I bought the Thrustmaster TX and I bought the Fanatec DD Pro. The Fanatec DD Pro is 100% more worth your money than a Thrustmaster TX, or a Thrustmaster T300, or a T248, or any of those belt-driven wheels. This is more worth your money. The direct drive experience is far more worth your money. It feels so much better. It feels more convincing. It's great. Like, I started warming up to this Fanatec pretty quickly, actually, within like a few races, you know. And I mean, I'm still on the little tiny wheel, but yep, a couple more days and I should have the other one, the R330. I play a lot of rally games, so having a bigger rim is essential for me. I cannot it is so hard for me to play rally with these little wheels. I mean, it's doable, but man, it is just not an ideal experience for me. I really did think this wheel was going to be bigger. I did not think it was going to be such a little tiny dinky thing. But even this feels more quality than the one that the Thrustmaster had. This feels more quality out of this Gran Turismo wheel than that one did, for sure. Okay, so this is the last lap that I'm going to do, and then we're going to go ahead and post this video, because I'm getting ready to go spend Easter with the family out of town, and I just wanted to get you guys a racing video this weekend. Some thoughts on this experience. So, sorry about it being like an all over the place video too. I don't know, man. I like the sound of my own voice, so I like to talk. I'm joking. I do though. So hopefully this sound is Hopefully the sound is lined up on this one too, man, because that's been really bugging me. Or that thrust, or that freaking capture card. Getting a little bit frustrating. See, I like how that feels. Like when you're loading up into these corners, man, that feels so good. And it feels like you've got like some actual like right there. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.